Good morning, everyone. How's your day? Welcome to our presentation. Today we'll be talking about effective communication, the ticket to productivity in the workplace. Effective communication. Wait. Effective communication is the process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, opinions, knowledge, and data. So, so that the message is received and understood with clarity and purpose. When we communicate effectively, both the sender and receiver feel satisfied. So this is the chart or the element of communication. So we have a sender or the encoder. The sender is the idea generating component in the communication process, which means in human communication, the sender may be a person or persons who created or formulate the idea to be sent to the receiver, being the primary source of the message. The sender is also termed the source. So we also have the message. The message is the second element of the communication process in the message or the information that is being communicated. The source encodes an idea and then determine whether or not to inform, persuade, or entertain. After deciding what message to send, the source uses symbols to get message across to others. We have also the two types of message. We have the verbal and non-verbal message, wherein verbal message are means written or oral messages. They are composed of words, example a newspaper reports or lecture by a teacher. And next we have verbal message. Of course, this is our non-verbal messages that are communicated through our behavior, movements, actions, clothes, style, conversation, and pitch of sound. Of course, just like our clothes, they are also composed of messages. Just like when we are wearing of G strings, that means we are Igorots, of course. We also have the channel. The channel means the medium by which the sender transmits the message to the receiver. So the so our five senses, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, and seeing, are basic natural channels of human communication. We have also here the receiver or the decoder. The idea receiving end in the communication process is called the receiver. A person or thing may be at the receiving end. The receiver's role is as important as the sender's role, and vice versa. We all we are we also have here the feedback. Another element in the communication process is feedback. Each party in the interaction continuously sends message back to another. This return process is called feedback. Feedback tells source how the receiver has interpreted each message. So that means if there is feedback, there is a understanding of the message, and there is an interaction to each other. to the receiver and to the sender. Next, we have the context. Communication takes place in a context. At times, it is noticeable and at other times not. In other words, times, place, culture, physical and social condition, and and psychology of the participants are important in determining the communication effect. So if we try to interpret a message of out of its context, we may get an entirely different meaning which may result in a communication error. Next, we have the effect. So why do we communicate? Why really? Why really? So we communicate we communicate to make some effect on the receiver is the answer. Effect is the consequences or result of communication. Every communication acts makes some effect on the persons. The effect may be positive or negative. Communication is said to be successful when we achieve the intended effect. So, successful daw yung communication pag naintindihan nung receiver yung message ng sender. So, this is the seven C's of communication. First, we have this clarity. We have here the clarity, confidence, conciseness, coherence, concreteness, courtesy, and correctness. So, clarity. Clarity communication implies the communicator highlights a specific piece of information only. A clear communicator focuses on pursuing specific goal and delivering a specific message. So being clear in communication helps make understanding easier and faster and enhance the meaning of the message. Next, how do we communicate clearly? We communicate clearly. You'll need to lead with your main idea. Minimize the number of ideas per sentence. Avoid jargon, slang, and absolute language and speak in short but direct sentence means precise sentence. So, coherence. Coherent communication implies the information transmitted is logical and consistent. That means a coherent communicator connects all points discussed and ensures they are all relevant to the main topic. Next. So, being coherent in communication helps give credibility to the ideas and avoid confusion, dissatisfaction, and exhaustion in the listeners and readers. So, how do we communicate coherently? We communicate coherently. You'll need to organize and present your ideas in logical order. Connect your ideas through the use of transitional words and phrases. For example, as a result, so far, furthermore, and contrast, for example, and etc. Confidence. Confident communication implies the communicator is in control of communication process. A confident communicator gives extra credibility to their words by stating thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and opinions assertively. That means if you're confident in what you're talking, you'll be you'll be able to speak speak all the ideas. So being confident in communication helps people appear more assertive give more credibility to the information presented, and the information presented seems more professional. So, how do we communicate confidently? To communicate confidently, you'll need to maintain a clear and stable voice, maintain eye contact, listen to others attentively, look for compromise about points discussed, express gratitude when appropriate, offer apologies when you're wrong, and positively acknowledge the contribution of others. Number four, we have the correctness. Correctness. Correct communication implies that there are no errors in communication. A correct communicator shows their respect to fellow communicators by ensuring grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary are up to par. So, being correct in communication helps improve the impact of the message, enhance professionalism, enhance comprehension, and avoid misunderstandings and confusion. So, here are the ways how to communicate correctly. So, you need to communicate correctly, whe- when think about what you want to say before you say it, proofread written communication with care, and use of comprehensive grammar manual or online writing assistant. Fifth is the conciseness. Conciseness communication Concise communication implies the information is communicated in the fewest words possible. A concise communicator sticks to the point and keeps things brief. Means communicator don't go around the bush and say the specific idea. And being concise in communication helps save time. Under your main points better and make the message more comprehensible to the listeners and to the readers. So, how do we communicate concisely? When you communicate concisely, you'll need to avoid getting distracted by additional issues, stick to the topic at the hand, and give only reasonable amount of information at a time. Concreteness. Concreteness Concrete communication implies the information is presented in specific, definite but vivid manner. So a concrete communicator provides clear picture of what they want to convey. Being concrete in communication helps strengthen the confidence of your words, maintain the audience interest, avoid misinterpretation, and speed up the course of action. Next, so how do we communicate concretely? To communicate concretely, you'll need to support your ideas with the facts and figures. Use clear and unambiguous words and phrases and to provide detailed steps for actions you want to be undertaken. Courtesy. Communication implies the information is delivered with respect. Courteous communicator is open, friendly, and honest, especially when talking to someone older or even younger than you. Always show respect. Being courteous in communication helps build and maintain good rapport among teammates. So, of course, that's courtesy is very important in communication. So, people feel heard, acknowledged, appreciated, and build more loyal, productive team. How do you communicate courteously? To communicate courteously, you'll need to be positive, polite, of course, and sensible. Be enthusiastic also and reflective. Consider the viewpoints of others, focus the message on the audience, and show respect to fellow communicators. So these are the way on how your communication skills can be improved. Because communication skills are like any other skills. This is improved through practice and effort, of course. There are a few ways to start improving your communication skills, whether at home or at job. Of course, consider your audience, who are you communicating with. Make sure you are aware of your audience. Those you intend to communicate with may differ from the host actually receive your message. Knowing your audience can be key to delivering the right message effectively. Their age, race, ethnicity, gender, marital status, income, education level, subject knowledge, and professional experience can all impact how they'll receive your message. Of course, when you're talking to young one about adults matters about uh, family planning, of course they won't understand you as because of their age. Next, so always practice active listening also. Active listening is the practice of giving your full attention in a communication exchange. Of course, a good listener is also a good communicator. Make your message as clear as possible. Once you have successfully identified your audience and listened to their intentions, needs, and desires, you may have something to communicate. So always be clear. Make your voice clear and loud, of course. Use the right medium or platform. Using the right medium or platform to communicate matters effective. Communication requires you to consider whether you need to meet in person or if in Zoom would suffice. Of course, especially in emergency matters. Of course, you'll not be running to the police offices. Of course, you need to call. That's why you need you need a good signal or mobile phone. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Hope you learned more today's presentation.